my health is failing me. My body is telling me that I'm not going to be able to do it. So then I remember going to the back, and the lady, and I was terrified. I was so terrified. And the lady was one of the doctors that was there. She tried to comfort me. And I remember going in the room and putting on the gown. And I remember looking at this table, and it was like a lot of tools that I had never seen before. And I was terrified. And she said, okay, well, you have to be still. And it was the worst pain of my life. Not only physical, but mentally and emotionally. And afterwards, I remember them telling me to go into this room, and it's like the recovery room. And there was other women there. And this lady I sat by, and I'll never forget her. I sat by this lady, and she said, "What are you in for? What are you here for?" And I'm like, I didn't say anything. I just looked at her. I mean, she's sitting there eating because they give you food and stuff. And she's like, "You want your food and all this other stuff?" And I was just so out of it. And I just looked at her with this weird look. And she was like, "Yeah, I'm just not ready for a baby. I just feel like, this is just not for me, but I won't stop doing what I'm doing, and I won't get on birth control." And she was like, "I've had like 5 or 6 different abortions." And I remember looking at her angry. And I couldn't understand how a woman could be so healthy. And that's what she wants to do. Like, you don't want to protect yourself from getting pregnant, but you've normalized getting abortions. And here I am, someone that wants children, want a family, and I get pregnant and my body starts to fail me. So you can imagine the anger that I had built up inside of me just sitting beside this lady. And when she noticed that I was looking at her and I started to get mad, she stopped talking to me because I was upset. And I remember leaving the place, and we got in the car, and I didn't say anything. The car ride home, I didn't say anything. I went, and then we stayed at his parents' house. She let me stay there because I had to be under watch for 28 to 48 hours. And I went upstairs, and I just laid in the bed, and I cried. I cried. And I felt like I failed. And my body failed. And I just couldn't understand. I couldn't understand why is it so hard for me to do what women bodies are supposed to do. And I remember his mom coming upstairs, and she asked me, was I okay? And I didn't say much. And she looked at me and said, You know you're going to have to repent for this, right? When she said that, it was like someone took a knife into my chest. As if I had a choice. And when she said that, I got angry. And she left and she went downstairs. And I remember going in the bathroom. And I just looked in the mirror and just didn't even know who I was. I couldn't recognize who I was. I lost a big part of myself. And after that, I struggled and I didn't tell my parents. And at that time, it was a lot going on. My parents were not together at this time. And I just kept it to myself. Weeks went by and Mother's Day was coming up. And I remember it the day before Mother's Day. My brother had came in town. And we stayed at my dad's house or our family house. My dad was there. And the night before he looked at me, he said, he told me it was going to be okay.